Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the wrap up show for the Spotlight on Amputee series. This season it's had its ups and downs, but I mean, it's been a lot of fun. We've had good times. We've had to rearrange a few things and move things around, but when you're dealing with a show like this and doing this kind of thing, that's pretty normal. That kind of thing happens. Life happens for people, and it's just you got to deal with it. So that's kind of, the way this season has went. And man, it's been fantastic. We have absolutely knocked it out of the park. We've had some great guests on, some folks that I've brought back tonight that I'm really, really excited for you guys. And you guys can ask questions, anything you want to do. It's like I was telling them, we don't really have much of a topic or anything like that. We're just going to be kind of hanging out and BSing with each other and kind of getting to know each other, that kind of stuff. So by any means, if there's any kind of questions that you guys have regarding, bionics, amputees, anything like that, then feel free to ask, and we'll gladly answer to the best of our ability. So, as I always say, we're not experts in this field by any stretch of the imagination, but we've been doing it for a long time that we can actually answer a lot of things and a lot of questions you guys may have. So, with that, we're going to say what's up to some folks. Miss Christy Yant. Hello, dear. Good seeing you. I see we have Tami Conlon in the chat. All right, right on. Backwoods 3030. Red Dog, my brother. Let me see here. Jeff Bice, how you doing? Forward for Life, there you are. Let me see. Scrolling down. I believe that's everybody. Blue Eyes, hello there. All right. So, like I said, I brought back a few guests, and we might have some pop up, as the show goes on. But right now, the guests that have come to hang out with us tonight are some of the most inspiring ladies that we've had on the show. And I am very, very proud to have them on the show and very proud to call them my friend. And with that, I want to bring up three of the most awesome ladies you guys have had the opportunity to meet this season. So, with that, we're going to say hello to Miss Tami Conlon, Miss Kim Ousley, and Miss Kayla Inman. How you ladies doing?
Hey.
Great.
Oh my God, that was in unison. That was awesome. It was one big collective. Hey,
We practiced that.
I love
Yeah.
it. Uh-oh. Not sure what happened. All right, there we go. Are we good?
You're frozen. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I'm frozen. Okay. All right. I think we're good now. We had some kind of internet glitch or something. I don't know. Who knows? So, either way, can you guys hear me and everything?
Absolutely.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. So, how we doing? Y'all doing all right?
It's been a beautiful day here.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Don't everybody talk at once. I mean, we were all chatting it up backstage. Now everybody's just chilling and being quiet. So,
Yeah, I'm just preparing for the snowstorm coming, so I'm just hiding
Snow.
out of the house. So,
This time of year?
yeah, Denver gets their last April snowstorm in the last week or two of April every year.
Oh my
I'm flying
goodness.
out there next week, Kayla. So
So, just to fair warn you, this will be 3 years in a row that it's been on the third Friday of April that we've had our last big snowstorm. And that's usually when the conference is, but thankfully it's tomorrow instead of the conference day. So,
yes, let me know what the
Oh,
weather is
wow.
before I come.
yes.
Well, I got to say, we didn't get snow this year. So could you bottle some of that up and just send it to me? I'd be super happy.
I'll try.
I don't deal with snow. No way. We're in Tennessee. We get snow for 3 days and that's it. And it's gone.
Dang.
And when we do, everybody panics and goes buys eggs and milk. That's the number one thing.
And toilet paper. Don't forget toilet paper.
Yes.
And bread. Yeah. We're all making bread, egg, toilet paper sandwiches. I'm not sure what we're doing. Chasing it with milk, I guess. I don't know.
I'm going to have to pass on that meal. Thanks.
Apparently it's a staple here in the South when it snows, That's what you have to eat in order to stay warm.
Well, you can't egg and toilet paper anybody's house anymore. That would be kind of like the worst idea ever these days at the price.
That's
That's
just for
like,
the rich people.
yeah, I was gonna say that's like rich kid activities nowadays. You know, you go in egging houses.
Right?
Yep. I can't
That's
afford
true.
to do that.
Yeah. The lower income kids can't egg houses anymore. You can't afford them. You know, that's an expensive
Yep.
hobby there.
What is it? 5 dozen here's $32.
That
Ugh.
sounds
Of
really cheap.
mediums.
Oh my
I paid
god!
$10 a dozen the other
Ugh.
day.
Boy, those were good times. Absolutely, those were good times.
Now, see,
Yep.
I don't like to eat eggs, but I will buy them to bake. But I have friends who raise chickens, so if I need eggs, I just give them a call.
Oh,
There you
that's so
go.
lucky.
All
I
right.
live here where there's a lot of 4-H kind of fields and stuff like that. Everybody's got chickens. Even the Mexicans around here, they all have chickens.
On the side of the road with them.
Yeah.
Man.
We,
That
we
would be
see them
nice.
on the side of the road here a lot. Like they'll have their whole truck set up and everything, and it's just like packed full of eggs. There's no telling how long those eggs have been sitting out in the sun, but
Right.
they got eggs. The farm fresh, the brown ones too, like the big old fat brown farm fresh eggs too. But
The
yeah,
double yolkers.
Ooh, those are nice.
yeah, exactly. Get you a twin egg.
Well, see, back in the day, they just larded their eggs. When I worked at Conner Prairie in costume as the carpenter's wife back in the old days, I didn't even know that. I thought all eggs come from the grocery store, and you should always put them in the refrigerator. But if they come straight from the chicken the same day, and you wash and lard them, then it protects them, and you don't have to refrigerate them. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
Gotcha. All right. Hey, there's all kind of cool hacks like that. But if you watch TikTok or anything like that, it'll show all kind of hacks, and it's just like, yeah. And I always put in the comment section, it's like, don't do this. You're really going to mess up your fill in the blank if you do this. This is like the dumbest possible thing, you know. Because you see people doing things, I think, just for clicks and that kind of stuff, you know, just like these just ignorant hacks that don't make any sense.
Mhm.
I helped
So
my cousin toilet
I
paper.
watched a TikTok today that his name's B. Dylan Hollis, and he's now got 2 cookbooks. But I started watching him during COVID. He tries some of the retroest recipes you know who I'm talking about, Kayla?
Yeah,
Yes. This one had chunks of spam in it for cookies.
Ew.
No way.
What?
It doesn't even belong in the same
No.
sentence.
no,
No.
Oh,
that sounds terrible.
God. Why would you want?
Hi,
No,
Grizz.
Griswold. I love this right here. I helped my cousin toilet paper my teacher's huge trees. It was a mess. I felt bad forever. Now I am again. We did the same thing, and we got toilet papered actually whenever we got TP'd whenever we was a kid, and I think it was payback for doing our buddy's house. And me and my brother was standing out in the front yard, and we thought it'd be a good idea if we took the hose with the sprayer and just like sprayed it out of the trees.
Ooh.
It stuck to the trees like inside the branches and got like wrapped around. It stayed up there. I don't even know how long, but eventually after rain and stuff like that, it started to all fall down in clumps. But yeah, we got in a lot of trouble for that because
Sounds
they
like
were
you
like,
made paper.
basically, yeah. We just glued more paper to a tree. We just sent it back to its home, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Be free, little toilet paper. Be
I
free.
was a bad kid. Well, I was once a bad kid. Me and a couple of my friends, this girl we didn't like, she was really rude and mean. Her family went on a vacation for a weekend and left their, God, I want to say it was like a BMW or something like that. And it had a moonroof and everything, which was slightly cracked. And we ended up toilet papering and egging and bolognaing this poor car. And they never could prove it was us, and I still feel bad to this day for doing that. Because we damaged the paint on that car, like,
Yeah,
and
baloney
we were
peels
only
it off.
10, so we didn't realize the effect of what we were putting on the car would make such a difference. But the one time I actually looked my father in the eyes and lied, dead ass lied, because I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can baloney happy faces on people's hoods and that kind of stuff, you know. Yeah, we've
You know,
done that before.
people used to use silly string on the inside of the cars for those that were just married, and they would.
Oh, yeah.
We actually did that with my cousin's car. She was not happy.
Does it actually, will it dye the seats?
Well, I don't know what color the
She said-
silly string was, but it was.
The car was now that color. All right.
Or in the 70s, they used to use paraffin wax at Halloween to write things on cars and stuff until they banned it here in Indiana. They literally banned it. It was either that or throw corn and tip cows.
That's also a good one too. Vaseline on the windshield wipers and door handles. It just takes a thin little bead and you rub it on there and then just kind of put the windshield wiper back on the car and just be like, all right. Then
Okay, I got to know, 'cause I'm not a country girl. How do you tip a cow?
You don't.
I didn't, but my strong older male cousins did. I don't know.
I just want to pet a cow. Like, there's none near me. So I'm like, I always have this obsession. Like, I want to just go pet a cow. But then I hear they're not like the friendliest things. They like kind of run away. So I'm like, oh, okay.
It depends. I mean,
It
some of them are
depends.
pretty nice if they're like raised on a hobby farm, but otherwise they're not like super socialized. So
Unless they're like one of those mini cows or something like that.
yeah, little Highland cows.
Yes,
those are cool. I like that and the little mini horses. The mini horses are really cool.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever watch
about
Parks and Rec?
What about the fainting goats?
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of those growing up.
Yeah, we had them at Conner Prairie until we realized that everybody knew what they were, and those poor things could never stand up for very long.
Yeah.
Hey, Yankees, good seeing you, brother.
Hey.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we had some more people popping in. What's up, Yankees? Good seeing you, bud. Griswold, my man. So what do you guys got going on as far as I know there's a conference coming up. What's up with that? What do you tell us a little bit more about that? I'm curious to know.
Yeah.
I don't know. This will be my first time.
I'm really excited for you to come. So it's the Limb Preservation Foundation. They host an annual symposium, and during the symposium, they have all of these panelists and speakers come talk about different topics, whether it's, osseointegration, pain management, mental health care, it just a whole bunch of stuff to help people living with limb loss or facing limb loss. This will actually be my second year that I'm a panelist there. And there's tons of companies that come, and so you get to meet different people involved in the limb loss community too, which is really great. And then you make a lot of friends. So,
dude, look at you. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a really cool event.
Are you going to video it or anything like that, or will it be like a live stream?
There's usually not a live stream, but there is. Rick Bontowski is actually going to live podcast while he's there this year. So that'll be pretty cool. And then usually they'll upload the presentations after the event is done, so that way people can go over the PowerPoints and kind of learn some of the stuff that was talked about. But it's a really fantastic event.
Well, I'm excited. I've never been to Golden, Colorado. I mean, I was 5 last time we went on a family vacation there. So I'm looking forward to it. And one of the gals that is on one of my other amputee groups, we're going to do lunch when I get there. Nice. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a shuttle to get from the airport to the hotel. I'm sure there is, but I was trying to figure out what the best route was to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, and I do have a travel blog, so accessible travel blog that I'm trying to get back up, and so I look forward to posting my wonderful experience.
That's awesome.
Very much so. Is that like an invite thing?
No, it's a growing event. So this is only the fourth year that they've done it. So it's not
Okay.
like it's been around for, decades, but they will they have their date set, I think, for next year already. But after this, I can share the link to the Limb Preservation Foundation, and they do, like for Kim, like they do a scholarships, so they'll sponsor people to come and like be a part of the symposium and even the gala the night before. So it's a really great organization.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
And the Amputee Coalition is going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada in January. If you want to apply for scholarships to attend to that one, that'll be just watch their website, their Facebook page, and see when they post that. And then I learned that Hanger has they have one that's more just recreational and a lot of fun and everything, Power Fest or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to seeing if I can go to that in September. And that one is in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going to really get to go out west this year.
I was about to say, yeah, you're going to be doing some traveling for real, though. That's awesome.
Well, yeah, I'll have to see how it all goes. I've always wanted to take a train trip out west. I think that would be cool.
That would be cool.
We have some beautiful wine country.
Yeah, that is for sure.
So Tami, you're up around the Portland area. We ain't got to say exact, but is that right? Around Portland?
More, a little lower, but yeah.
Okay, is the show Portlandia? Is that true, or is it like an over exaggeration?
These days, we have such a homeless crisis right now in Portland that Portland doesn't even look like Portland right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it has become not a beautiful city at the moment. So we're trying to figure out how to handle the homeless and better ways to place them instead of, just having them scattered everywhere. It's a big thing that, our communities are all trying to get together and try to figure out, because you have on one hand, the people that are like, well, we should just kick them out of the state. And then you have on the other hand, which is, I think, the majority of the people that we want to help and we want to problem solve instead of, because these people deserve a place to live too. I mean, that's a basic human right. So,
yeah,
we have that too. I think it's everywhere anymore. The homeless population just exponentially expounded everywhere, even in small towns like mine. Well, the bigger cities, cops are dropping them here because we have a Christian center, but they can't hold as many people as they think. And a lot of people can't handle living inside of a building with other people. They'd rather
especially
be
with
outside.
really strict rules. They've got some strict rules. Like
I think that's a little overkill sometimes. Yeah, I work at a community center where they let them take showers and they give them a hot meal and stuff like that. I always sit and talk to them, and I have made friends with many of them, and I think they would protect me with their heart. If they saw something happening to me, they would be right there. It's that kind of community,
Yeah, they have their own code that they go by, and we were homeless actually some years back, and we found this group who we lived in our car and we parked in their little area, and they shared food and any type of resources. If this one person got food stamps, they go buy a meal for the group. I mean, it was a really eye-opening, and I wouldn't have been feeling any safer if I wouldn't have had that group. It was life-saving at the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because safety in numbers, I mean, it just is what it is, even if there's one turd head in that group, at least you can still kind of weed them out, because again, safety in numbers. If you have a group of people, it's much better than being alone.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about
it. I have seen several homeless come in that are recent amputees. And that's because they're living out in the cold in the winter and stuff, and they're getting frostbite and stuff, and then they'd lose fingers, toes, feet.
Yeah, I was wondering about that kind of stuff. I mean, because if you have underlying issues already, that's all it takes is one good cold winter, and that's it. You're done. You know, I mean, once the fingers and starts turning black and purple, that kind of stuff. It's, I
Mhm.
mean, you guys know like I do. It's kind of over at that point for you. Well, not for your life, but for that
Right.
that digit or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Man, yeah, we have a lot of that here in Nashville. We got a lot of like tent cities. You'll see that
Mhm.
like going down the interstates and stuff. You just kind of glance over and you'll see like makeshift houses like tarps and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah,
We have some
but
pretty innovative ones here, actually. We had a gentleman who, in my hometown, actually dug his way into this blackberry, like huge bush alcove thing that you would never think. He had actually dug tunnels through, but looking at it from the outside, you couldn't tell. And he lived there for years in his own little makeshift
dang,
home in these blackberries. And it was, they started developing the land and they found it.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they displaced him again, but it was just like, they get so innovative, and it's quite interesting. Some of the things that, some of them want to do to survive. And
very cool.
I wish somebody would have been like, that is so smart. And that was, so well put together. Let's give you a job. Let's do something, but
Yeah, monetize it somehow.
yeah.
Some places
Yeah,
are building tiny houses for them, and I think that's great.
yeah.
Yeah. Cause they
Yeah, I
don't
think
need a
there'd have
lot
to
of
be
space.
some. There'd have to be some kind of stipulation, though. It's just like you got to at least try to have a job, or it's not just like here's a free place. Have a good one. It would have to be some kind of, I don't know, like a work program or something like that. Like you'd still have to. It's not even a matter of like well, you can't afford it. It's just like no, you're going to work. As long as you're proving that you're going to work, we got you. That's all you have to do. Not just you have to
Right.
be making X amount of dollars. Hell, it don't matter. Just anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And but yeah, me and my wife was talking one night about the homeless around here in Nashville and stuff, and we've always been real huge fans of The Walking Dead, The Last of Us. The apocalypse stuff. It's just always kind of fascinated us. And we were talking about how homeless people would just laugh in all of our faces if the apocalypse actually happened. Like, because they're like 100% prepared. They're used to doing this already. I
Yeah.
mean, as soon as the outbreak or whatever happened, they'd be on it. They'd be just like, all right, we're good. We already know what to do. We already know how to. This is a normal day for us. What y'all are freaking out about is just Tuesday for us.
Right.
So
They're survivalists.
yeah, they're already survivalists. That's kind of their thing. And it's just, I mean, not really by choice. It's kind of you're forced to do that, but still, hell, they're gonna do way much more better than any of us. They're gonna fare way better.
Yep.
So
Hey, I could live like a pioneer, so
there you
after
go.
playing one.
I know how to grow stuff, man.
We still live in an open carry state. So I know a bunch of people that have guns. So at least I'm set there.
Same
Yeah.
here. Same here.
They just tried to pass a law here yesterday in Indiana, but it got dissented today where they could arrest homeless if they're on public property or whatever, or on somebody's property. But they want, putting them in jail is not going to solve the problem, is what they pointed out. So they have to go back to the drawing board on that one. So
Yeah, it's going to cost the
Um,
state more money than it is anything.
yeah, I was gonna say
yeah.
it's more resources going into it. So I
Yeah.
mean, because then you got to feed them. You got to. I mean, it's everything.
Yeah,
So
that's true. So
And
is
Grizz,
well,
I
everybody
did read your comment. So thank you.
say that again.
Griswold made a comment earlier, and I just wanted to, let him know that I did notice it.
Oh yeah, there you go. I do apologize, y'all. We get to talking and stuff. But I'm so sorry. Hey, Chancey, good seeing you, brother. Good evening, MOL and guests. Enjoy listening to these. Let's see. Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Easter. Yes, sir. Happy Easter to you.
When
You
is
guys
Easter?
doing anything for Easter? Y'all got any kind of
Sunday.
plans or anything?
It's this Sunday, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. 420.
Better hide those
Yes.
eggs.
It is 420 in Colorado.
Yeah, in
I was
Colorado.
going to say 420 here.
And you're going to be there, Miss Kim, aren't you? On
Of
420?
course. No, I'm going to be there the 24th through the 26th. Yeah.
It's
So-
still
Just
420
gonna
there
miss it.
anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's the whole month here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 420 last
I saw
365 days there.
Yeah. Saturday, driving through, my friend driving us through town, you could see a few of the east. All of a sudden, I saw like this whole blocked off side yard, and there's all these eggs all over the place, and they were waiting for some kids, but it was like 3 elderly people. And I was like, maybe you need some younger ones to help chase those kids. But they had a ton of eggs out there for a side yard. That's all I was like, wow.
I think we're going to do something
That's the
here
best
for
part.
them.
Andy.
We're going to do something for my daughter here, just around here. And then we have a big mega church that's down the road from us. Me and my wife, we have a, I don't know if it's right to say this or not, but we call it Six Flags Over Jesus because it's like this big, massive church. It's like a huge mega church. And it looks like a factory. It's that big, you know. But yeah, we call it Six Flags Over Jesus.
Ooh.
And but they have a big Easter egg hunt there, and we're gonna go over there and check that out, I think. But I mean, it's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids. But I mean, hey, whatever.
Wow.
Pretty cool. It's local. It's right down the road. So
Yeah, my kids are grown. They're, young adults. And so if I want them to Easter egg hunt, I have to do wheat eggs.
I'm coming to your house next time.
yeah, I mean, dude, let's
Find the golden
see.
egg. You get some, a gram of ganj or, something. Yeah.
That's a good egg.
I love your house. Your
I always
house
had
is
to look
great.
up how to boil eggs every year.
Hey,
I had to look up how to boil eggs every year because I didn't eat them.
what's up, Chevy Triple
And then I
Nickel?
started
And
get buying plastic.
Tennessee
Hey.
Tiger King. Got more folks rolling in, saying hello to some folks. Cowboy, aka the One. Good seeing you, brother. Let's see here. Just know that if I had $2 in my pocket, you're not a vagrant. I mean, you're not wrong. I gotta admit.
Yeah, that's true.
So, how are the puppies doing? I see you got Tarno back there. How's Miss Kayla? How's Oh my goodness, who was on the show? What was her name? I can't
Virga.
remember. Huh?
Virga.
Virga. There we go. Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
How's she doing? Everything good?
They're all great. They're actually out with my neighbor. My neighbor has been so kind, walking my dogs 3 times a day while I recover. And so found I have the best
Nice.
neighbor in the world.
Nice. What did you recently have you have to go through?
I had to go back for yet another revision, and
That's what it was. Yeah.
that was like 2 weeks ago, because they didn't listen to me when I told them it was an infection, and then I had to go back and
Right.
lose more of my leg. So I lost about an inch of my leg a couple weeks ago. So
So you're gonna have to get recast and everything. Like that's new socket, new everything, huh?
Yep. Yeah, it was 5 weeks post-op from the February surgery, and then all of a sudden my legs started having more pain and ended up in the ER, and the infection was in my bone, and I was like, look, it's there. So,
Oh,
but I'm feeling great now. So
Good. None of the complex regional pain syndrome is that we're good on that? Right, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't ask about it.
Still in remission, still like holding in there. That's why I was really worried about this go around, because I was like, wow, that's 4 surgeries in 6 months. And I was like,
Yeah.
please don't come back. And We're good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Master, good seeing you, brother. Um, have you guys, Tammy or Kim, ever heard of that complex regional pain syndrome before?
Mhm.
Miss Kayla has it, and I'm sorry, Miss Kayla has it, and I was after me and her had discussed like in her interview, I'd looked it up, like, and I did a lot more research on it and stuff, and that is wild. Like I've never even heard of anything like this before, but I mean, she can explain it better than I can, but it's like the most painful thing that a human being can go through. And from what I understand, is it vascular? Is that right?
No, it's kind of like a nerve malfunction is what I equate it to. So
Okay,
your
all
nerves
right.
are like hyperdrive all the time. So
Mhm.
Mm, man, so that means the swelling, the inflammation, that redness and stuff, that just simply touching the skin, just barely being like it's like oh, it's like really bad sunburn all the time.
yeah,
I can't
No,
imagine.
I
that's
know. I
yeah,
mean, I've worked with people with hypersensitivity like that, and just seeing it, you know, what they go through is just horrific.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
Mhm.
got to
that's
the point.
crazy.
I mean, it once it gets to a point, like all your nerves, they control your muscles, they control your skin health, they control everything. And my skin started wearing down. I'd break blood vessels just putting on a shoe, and like my foot was like dark purple all the time, just like dying in front of my eyes, and there was nothing I could do.
Mhm.
Insane.
And like so
Oh,
much so, you want to go out of the house not wearing shoes. You just kind of want to abandon shoes or anything that touches your feet altogether. That's a lot of the way Burger's disease is too. Like with that red swollen skin and stuff, man. It's terrible. Again, my wife, she's dealing with swollen feet and that kind of stuff from being pregnant. And we were talking about that, and I was just like, yours is all fluid, like water and that kind of stuff. Not taking anything away from it, but hers
Yeah.
is all fluid. And
Mhm.
I was like, remember when mine were all swole up before I had my amputation, you could see the skin was just bright red and that kind of stuff, and any kind of touch or anything like that, it was just horrible. I mean, it was like the most painful thing you've ever felt in your life.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of the reason why is because there's different kinds of swelling. There's fluid swelling, and then there's like what she's saying with like inflammation, with nerve
Mhm.
pain, that kind of stuff, and that is the worst because one, you just can't move it. Another
Mhm.
one is that like, oh, like again, it's like the skin is almost the flesh is kind of burnt. It's the way it feels, and yeah, I get what you're saying. There's been points where I just stopped wearing socks. I couldn't wear them anymore.
Yeah.
It was too much.
I bet.
It was a shoe with no laces in it if I wanted to run to the store or something like that, and pray to God it don't fall off. But,
Hmm.
you know,
Oh yeah.
I
That
have an
is sounds
off-topic
very painful. I
question.
just
No, go ahead,
yeah.
Kim. I was
No,
well, no.
I was commenting. That's all.
He made the
one,
comment
two, three, go.
about running to the store with just shoes on, right? How many have like actually tried, the no shoes, no shirt, no service type of thing? I've actually gone to the store with a single shoe on. I've had them times like, where the foot doesn't fit the shoe that I have or whatever, but I need to run to the store. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that's ever had to argue with a sales associate that it's not real. I'm not going to get an infection. I'm not going to, get cuts. I just need my item.
No,
So,
really.
I told a store clerk, then call the cops. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go back here and grab my drink and that kind of stuff. But if you want to call them, that's fine. But I'm gonna buy what I need to get.
I've only had one, and most of them you can tell are really uncomfortable and don't want to say anything. I only had one who decided to, thought he was all rough and tough and he was going to speak up and be like, this is our service. And I was just like,
That-
okay, well, then sell me my item and I will leave. So,
yeah, the male Karens of the world. Have you guys caught any guff about having a handicap tag and being, younger and people being like, "Well, you're not handicapped. What's going on?" Yeah, everybody shakes their head. Yes, man.
Yeah, the
I
very
was
first
thinking-
time I had that happen, I hopped out of the car and this old guy just looked, "You don't need that. You're young and okay." And I literally just took my leg off and held it up, and I was like, "Really? I'm okay."
God,
I had it
man.
just
Yeah.
happen to me just recently, actually. I went to a winery, and it's one I'd been to before. I was wearing capris and sandals, so it's not like you couldn't see it. I parked in the handicap parking. I got out and I walked to go get the wine, and a lady came running up to me as I was getting back in my car, and she's like, my kids play on this road, because obviously she lived on the winery somewhere. And she's like, and this is for handicap parking only. And I said, okay, well, here's my placard. And I'm an amputee. So, and she goes, well, you walk awfully well for being an amputee. And I was just like,
Oh my gosh.
you don't believe me, but I'm standing here. I was floored, absolutely floored. And it sucks because I won't go back there now because of that behavior, but they have the best wine. So it's like, c'est la vie, I guess.
Oh, I've been blocked in before, that first spot at Walmart that has the lines here so that way nobody parks there. Well, unfortunately, Walmart here owns the property, so they ignore it.
Oh,
I was getting ready to open my car door. I am a left below the knee amputee, and I need to open it all the way to get out, or at least almost all the way. And all of a sudden, this lady, I'm not kidding, she zooms in, leaves me that much space. And I'm rolling down the window. I go, ma'am, I'm an amputee. I need to get out of my car. Why did you park there? That's not a parking spot, blah, blah, blah. She goes, I'm just going in to pick up my husband's medicine. And I was like, oh, but I don't see a handicap tag. Well, I'll just be a minute. So I called the office because I keep these numbers in my phone because I'm smart like that. And I complained and I said, I am an amputee and I can't get out of my car because this lady who said she's not disabled, but she's running in to get her medicine, needs to move her car so I can get out. But I have a friend in a wheelchair that drives herself everywhere, and that she's been either not able to get in her car or out of her car because people park on those striped lines and think it's okay. And it's like they get mad if you tell them, no, you can't park there. And nothing against elderly. I'm going to be old someday. I'm pushing closer to 60 than I'd like to admit. But I don't know how many elderly people, even the lady at Christmas time, I'm in Dollar Tree. I am about to die with a blister on the bottom of my stump. And I'm just tired of Christmas shopping. And because all the carts were gone, she starts to grab my cart and goes, here, you can carry your stuff. And I go, pull up my pant leg and I go, ma'am, I can't. I'm in pain right now because of this fake leg. And she goes, but I'm older. And I go, but you have two legs. And she's like, but I'm older. And I go, but you have two legs.
I don't be like, and a bigger mouth.
Yeah. If you want to split hairs, we will. Okay. I mean, we can totally do that.
Oh, people have said, but you still have two legs. And I said, it's not the same. You want to trade? Right. It's not the same. People tell me, oh, it's still the same. You're walking. I go, but it takes a lot harder for me to walk than it does you. Mm-hmm. I'm getting older now.
Yeah, the skin doesn't hold up like it used to. And, there's other issues that happen as you get older with an amputation, mm-hmm. It's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I wear shorts all summer long. How many of you gone in? My biggest pet peeve is the electric carts. And I've talked to so many managers about this, the electric carts in the stores. Sometimes I have to use them, not that I want to all the time, but there's times when, I can't walk that far. I'm in pain or whatever. Oh my gosh. If you don't get there before 9 a.m. in the morning at Walmart or Meijer or someplace that has those, you might as well hang it up because they don't replace the batteries on those things and they'll die on a heartbeat on you. And I don't know how many times I've been stranded in the middle of the store, and I'm like, hey, anybody out there? One time during COVID, I went in and this lady literally ran when she saw me in front of me, got on the scooter, the last one. And she looked at the other lady and goes, is this yours? And she goes, no. Okay. I go, ma'am, do you mind? And she could see my leg. And I was like, do you mind seeing if you could find another one? Because I can't walk anymore. Oh, I had a knee surgery last year. And I go, oh, really? I had a leg taken off, you know? It's just, and then I ended up getting on one that this one employee went out and got out of it sounded like a loud lawnmower. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to drive this thing and make my point. And I videotaped myself driving through it and sent it to the corporate office. Not that it makes any difference, but I was just in one of those moods that, you know, I'm at that age where now I'm losing my filter. And I will tell you,
You're like, I'm making a statement
Absolutely.
today.
I'm making a statement.
My voice will be heard today. Yeah, I think today's the day.
I hate doing that where if I have to use the cart, not only because I am younger, but I'm also bigger. And so most people look at my size before they look at
do. Oh, it's not fair.
You know, they look at the top and they're like, oh, she's just being lazy, you know, and then, you know, some of them finally will scan down and be like, oh, you know, but it's, I dread having to use the cart. I will like basically limp like with one crutch as much as I can, you know.
Yeah. I had an incident at our Kroger here where I got out of the car, and as I got out of the car, I kind of opened the door and I looked and it was just like saw this car sitting behind me, and there was a lady that rolled her window down. Well, there was a woman that rolled her window down. It wasn't very much of a lady, but she goes. She was just like, hey, there's no reason for you to be parking in that spot right there. And I kind of took the tag out and I showed her. I was like, I have the tag that says I can park here. And you know, obviously I looked down. She goes, yeah, I see you don't have a leg. I get it. I understand. But, you know, she's like, my husband, he's missing his leg. He walks just fine. There's no reason for you to have that spot.
Oh, my God.
She goes, I can barely walk at all. She goes, look at you. You're standing up. You're walking just fine. I was like, I got back in my car and I backed out of the parking spot. I was like, wow, she won. I was like, you know what? Go ahead. You take the spot like that. And as I walked back past her, because I was getting out, she walked by and she just goes, thank you, honey. I appreciate you giving me the spot. I really like all sweet and stuff. I was like, what the hell? What happened to that same energy? Like I thought we were getting ready to have like some kind of back and forth.
Was she disabled? Was she physically disabled, or did she have her husband with her? Because technically, by law, she has to have the handicapped person with her if she's using that license plate or that tag.
Well, she said something about she has something wrong with her spine and she can't walk very far and all this stuff. So she was a super old lady, and I didn't really want to be like really. I didn't want to get into it, you know. I just dropped my daughter off at school, and I was kind of more or less just kind of running by a Kroger real quick and going back to the house. And I was just like, you know what? Just take it. It's yours. You know.
Woke up and chose violence that morning.
He did, and apparently I was right in the path of that, you know. But she was like, I see your leg, and so what is that supposed to mean? She goes, my husband don't have a leg, and he gets around just fine. I was like, all right, man, right on. Okay. This is a new one for me. I don't know what to do here, you know? So yeah, I got back in the car and just back out of the spot. I was like, have it. It's yours. Take it.
Yeah. Right.
Sometimes
I know at that point, there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You know, what's really bad is when a cop or something parks in a handicapped spot. To me, that's just
sideways.
My favorite is because I've been a full-time wheelchair user for the last several months is like I will get out and I will roll up to whoever's door there and I will knock on their window and be like, you're in my way. I can't get back into my car. And I will sit there and just pound on their window. And in my wheelchair, I'm way more confrontational, I've found.
It's not like you can hit a handicapped person. A cop is not going to have that.
A lot of people see this and be like, God, they're so grumpy. They're so man, we're really not. We're really not. You have to be there, man. If you've been there, it's a totally different story. If not, I get how it kind of looks like, wow, look at these poor Karens sitting here going off about a parking space. Who cares?
You know,
The cowboy, yeah, I agree with cowboy. He
different,
said his
man.
filter's busted.
yeah. And I mean, it's all those little microaggressions too. So, like, you know, you get those little glances all the time, and you get those comments, and you get those things, and what I equate it to is like it's a mosquito bite every time you get those. So by the time you've hit that point where you're confrontational, you're covered in mosquito bites, and you're like, I cannot stand this anymore.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. My wife calls it the psh look.
Yep.
She's like, if psh was a look, that
Yep.
kind of, you know. Yeah, I get
Oh,
that a
my
lot
goodness.
as well.
Well, I
I
have
either
the
get-
mom look.
Just
That disapproving, like,
looking, looking
Yeah.
down your eyebrows.
Really? Seriously?
It has become the view now. Like Wolfie
That's why I
Goldberg, should I
decorate
just give
my
him one of
leg with
these?
stickers. I just read an article that'll be an Amplitude that's about me, why I decorate my prosthetic with stickers so that I can engage people in a positive way and use my leg as a piece of art. But I have stickers from people give me and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like 3D. I like to change it up. I'm a woman. It's like buying a purse. You need
it's an
you need more than
accessory.
one purse.
It is.
Yes.
I think Tammy's is the best. They used to say 100% that bitch on it, like her old leg.
I want to put my eyes are up there with an arrow because it's so funny that people think we don't see them going, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I love wearing my pullover. That's like, before you ask, you know, a zombie ate my leg, you know, because it is one of the number one questions you get asked is, how'd you lose your leg? You know?
Yeah.
So I wear shorts and my pullover, and
Well, here in Indiana, all I ever hear and literally have been followed out of the store and yelled at from behind going, diabetes. And I'm
Oh.
like, no, cancer. I had cancer.
I
And
have to say I've
God.
never had that one done to me. I'm pretty surprised actually, but that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
sadly, sadly, the poor people that do lose their leg to vascular diabetes, they're looked down upon. And that's not helpful at all.
Mhm.
And then
No.
a lot of cases, it could not even, sometimes it's not even the diabetes that did it, but they happen to be diabetic.
And they didn't
No.
heal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I don't know. I get really, and I've had managers go, well, if these fat people wouldn't sit on the electric scooters and ride them, they wouldn't break them so easy. And I go, excuse me? You can buy bigger ones for bigger people. Well, that's expensive. I go, well, my leg cost me $80,000 by the time I get all the parts. How much is a ramp or a battery or a proper scooter?
Nope.
I was going to say, especially for this, $1 trillion corporation, you're going to complain about pennies?
Yes.
Yeah. I wish I could afford one of those real, you see on QVC, the wheelchair or the scooter or that collapses and you could just throw it in the back of your car that you don't have to take apart or anything, or the wheelchair, the little mini wheelchair thing. It's like a lawn chair with a battery.
Yeah, like kind of like folds like it.
Yeah. Folds up like a suitcase. I go, I want one of those.
I've learned that anything that folds up like that typically isn't very strong in the long run. I mean, they're
No.
cool, but using it every day, it's like those little joints and everything that makes it convenient starts to break down like pretty rapidly.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the care on it would probably be pretty consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. Have to keep up with all those hinges and everything that make it, make it what it is as far as the collapse. But yeah.
They're trying to pass laws to protect people on airplanes because I don't know how many chairs get destroyed by the people packing it into the airplane and all that. It's kind of sad, but yep. But
So I've
Delta
never done that
Airlines.
before. How does that
What?
work as far as getting people on a plane? Do they take your chair and then put a chair or put you in another chair and take you onto the plane and help you over into a seat? Is that 'cause-
Now I've not ridden well, they have pushed me in a wheelchair through TSA, safe, the check and everything to where I
Okay.
need to go up to where the seats will begin. But then I get out and I get in a seat. I've never had to take
Gotcha.
a wheelchair with me on a flight.
I got you.
Kayla, have you?
Yeah, so you get to
Yeah.
wheel all the way up to the plane, and then they have a special, really narrow aisle chair that you have to transfer to if you can. Otherwise, they'll try and get you into a seat right up front that they can get you from your chair into.
Gotcha.
But typically, they'll transfer you to that aisle chair and then push you to whatever seat.
Okay. And that stays on the plane?
The aisle chair will stay on the plane, and then your chair gets thrown into luggage, which is
Literally.
Literally thrown.
it's
Right on.
yeah. I'm not looking for it. I just got a new chair, and so I'm
Oh,
really worried. I have a flight coming up next week, and I'm a little worried about it. So
Oh man, you would think they would have like I'm a musician, and we have what's called gig bags, which is just you put it's just like a soft case. They got them for guitars, keyboards, drums, everything. That would be nice if they had gig bags for wheelchairs. Just like a big soft padded bag, like with a big zipper around it to hold your wheels, the body, feet rest, everything, and that would be pretty sweet. Um, but if you had like a power chair or something like that, I couldn't imagine what flying with that would be like. I mean, I wouldn't think you could even do that, really. You kind of have to leave it there, imagine, or
no,
with somebody.
yeah, you can fly with it. It's it depends on again your disability, your ability to transfer to a chair, or if you have like somebody with you. I
Yeah.
have a friend who they'll pick up their spouse and put them in a chair to help transfer them. But then again, those power chairs go down into the luggage and same thing. They get damaged down there too. So
Man, get tagged. It
Yep.
becomes a piece of luggage at that point.
Yep.
Man.
You can rent, like if you're flying somewhere, like when I was in Orlando, Florida a few years ago, I found out I could actually have a rental scooter or a wheelchair brought to the entrance of SeaWorld if I wanted to, but they already had them inside of SeaWorld, and you pay like $50 for the day. And if it breaks down, they just bring you another one that's charged back up. But, and they even have them in different sizes, which is awesome. So SeaWorld and Busch Gardens in Florida, they already have that there. You have to pay a little, but it's worth it.
Okay. Look, check this out. They do have hard bags for chairs. I'll send you a link in your email. Awesome. Yeah, if you do that, I'll post
Cool.
that in my community post because I know that there's several people that would want that for sure. I've tried looking them up and I can't find anything because I've looked for one for my actual chair before too. And I mean, they have some, but they're kind of garbage. I mean, they're like you real thin material, that kind of stuff. I'm like, this thing's just gonna rip. So, but that is awesome. Yeah, send me that. Like, email me that if you would. That'd be awesome because I'll definitely repost that.
I just saw today. I'm sorry.
Cowboy, I was
just
just reading the comments and he was saying how he has a
Oh.
fail clip.
I love the comments. Yeah, I have fun reading those. Those guys, you're doing good. Today I saw something that they showed a picture of something they're trying to create that's a more comfortable actual airport chair airplane chair for handicapped that are in wheelchairs, to where all they have to do is just wheel on and click in place. I was like,
Yeah.
Wonder how much you have to pay to do that.
Yeah.
Because anything to do with us is going to cost 5 times as more. And we have to fight to no, just because I'm handicapped doesn't mean I have to pay more for a hotel room or pay more for this or pay more for that. I just don't think that's fair overall, but
Yeah.
I like your dog, Kayla.
I know he's
Thanks.
pretty.
Thank you. She just got back from walking and getting fed, so she's extra happy.
She's a happy girl.
Did you guys see in the best of? I gave the puppies a shout out too.
I didn't
On
make
the
it all the way through that one. No.
Oh yeah. Towards the end, I was like, we even got to meet some of the four-legged variety, or we had some guests of the four-legged variety, and I gave both you guys a shout out, and both y'all's puppies are on there too. So watch the best of
Aw.
later on. I sent you a link to it.
Yeah, I started it this afternoon. I didn't get to finish it, so.
Yeah, it's like an hour long. I mean, I literally sat and had to go through over 10 hours of video to draw, just little clips here and there of, things I thought just really, really stood out. That was, I mean, that was a couple weeks of doing right there. But I mean, that came out pretty good, I think. So I was pretty stoked about it. But it's tough trying to condense everything from 10 hours into 1 hour,
I can
But-
imagine.
But hey,
It's a
we
lot of
got it.
editing.
Look,
Ooh, you have an admirer, Kayla.
right? Exactly. And a heartbeat. That's
I'm flattered. I'm very flattered. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm recently taken, so.
Oh,
Right on, right on.
congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
How did you find that to be difficult, or did you find trying to express, making your new partner comfortable an issue?
I found it was more in my head than with my partners that I've had. I was married when I lost my leg, and I got divorced as soon as I lost my leg. And I had a lot of like doubt and fear when I went into the dating world, because it's like, oh my gosh, like this is, my ex-husband told me I looked like a monster, and so I carried that around with me for a long time. And then I had one partner, and he was just like, it doesn't make you any different. You're still you. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess not. So.
What's his name and address? He needs to be made a visit.
You can dox the hell out of him. I don't care.
Now, so.
I was gonna say I have black trash bags.
Oh, yeah. When I come to your house, we'll make a plan.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Have you guys,
that's-
when I first became an amputee, I was 43. I'm 58 now, and I'm still single, but I'm happy with that right now. But I was going to say, I kept getting emails about look up amputeedating.com. And I'm like, but what if I went with them with all their limbs? My friends are like, that's not fair. Well, I could meet somebody that we can do a 3-legged race. I don't know.
They got to be a righty, though. They got to be a righty.
Yeah,
Is it technically a 3-legged race, though? I mean, it'd be more of a 2-legged race.
Well,
Is there really an amputee dating website?
yes.
I was curious about that too, but I didn't want to ask. Oh my God.
I'll ask.
I've
No,
never
no,
been
that's
on
fine.
it.
That's-
Never
that's-
I'm
went
gonna
to
go check it out. I'm married, but I'm still gonna go look just because I'm curious.
Wow.
I've been on other dating sites in the past, and I'm like, you get the same people on all of them. It's like, if I'm going to meet someone, I'd probably do it while I'm traveling on vacation somewhere. And then I'll be like, I'm moving here,
Yep.
I enjoy being at my age, I'm a Gen Xer. I don't feel my age. I feel like, I grew up so fast that I think I'm reverse. I'm like, what's that, Benjamin Button? I'm starting to reverse my age in my head.
Yeah. Benjamin Button disease.
Yeah, no, I've been with my husband for so long, and I was a teenager and already had my leg gone, and I remember having that anxiety of is he looking at me? Is he looking at my leg? When we were getting intimate for the first time, like, not wanting to take off the leg or even like, throw a blanket over it, whatever, and my husband, he just laughs and he's like, I don't even see it. He goes, I stopped seeing it, after the first month we, started dating.
Yep.
And I was just like, oh, so
Yeah.
I have to say though, I would probably, if I was back in the dating world, I would be going through those same stages of fear and,
Yeah. Actually, like one of the most empowering things that like changed my mind was I was like freshly divorced and I was like starting this dating journey and I was like, oh my gosh, I felt so self-conscious, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself to a boudoir photo shoot. Cause I was like, you know what? I've always been a photographer. And so like, I've always been the person behind the camera. And I was like, you know what? This is a great way to like get over this fear. Like we're going to just have somebody else show me how to do this. And actually like, I was so mortified the whole time. And then I got the photos back and I was like, wow, like I don't look like a monster. I don't look like I'm like scary. And I was like, this is really nice actually. And so
I've always wanted to do one of those. So that is so awesome that you said that.
it's really empowering. Like honestly, really empowering. Worth it. Worth every penny.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to get serious about this. Now.
Reminds me of glamour shots back when I was you girls' age.
I remember glamour shots.
I have
think
my
I was
glamour shots.
10.
Used to see them at the mall. Remember they had the Velcro shirts and stuff that they just like put on you, so it looks like you have on like a suit jacket or whatever, and it's got like the Velcro in the back. Yeah, it's got the tie,
and
everything. Yeah, 100%. You go to the mall looking one way,
I
you
had
get
the leather
pictures
jacket.
looking- Absolutely.
yeah, my sister
I
had
was
the
in my
denim one
late
that was up
20s.
like that, and the hair was
Yes.
just the big hair and
Absolutely. Look like one of the pink
Yep,
ladies.
got it. I saw that. Did you see that article on the Amplitude website about amputees and the movies as far as use the scary movies, and they use this for, oh, well, you lost an arm there and you're bleeding kind of thing,
Yeah, I did see that.
My first year as an amputee, somebody called me and wanted me to work for a haunted house because I'm an amputee, and that way they can bloody up my stump. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like sitting in the dark. Sorry.
That's
I had my sister went to a Renaissance show, and we did the same thing. She never had gone before. She's like, my troop really would love to have you do this, and I know you'd be down for it. And they were pirates basically, and we had to do the surgery, and they put up this white curtain. You could only see the top half of me, and I'm just sitting there screaming and pretending to cry, and there's these other people squirting these like blood bottles on the white curtain, and then they wrap up my stump with like bloody bandages, and then I sit up, and I'm just like, oh it's gone, and it was just we actually had someone faint in the crowd. I loved it. I had the most fun ever. It was great.
I love
when
it.
you told me that in your interview, I was just like, what the hell's wrong with you, man?
I'm just a little off. It's okay.
You're like, what? It's fun. Leave me alone.
It's a whole lot of fun.
So how many of you dressed as a pirate at one point for Halloween?
Not yet.
I haven't yet.
I dressed as a lady
yeah.
pirate because my friend's 4-year-old at the time wanted me to dress as a pirate because he dressed as a pirate. I even had the parrot on my shoulder.
Yeah. No, I dressed my dogs up as sharks, and then I did the same thing that Tami did, where I bloodied bandages and put them on my leg. I won a Halloween costume for that.
It's all about the creativity, man. It's all about the creativity.
No,
Yep.
I stick my leg out the trunk of my car, and I will band it down and have it like, with like wrapping coming off of it. I get pulled over every Halloween. I do. A cop, and if I get lucky, I get a cop that thinks it's really funny, but most of the time they're like, "Ma'am, this is this is unacceptable." I'm like, what? It's just my spare.
This is so uncouth. It's like, hey, I'm the one missing a leg, man. Leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah. I was sitting on the front porch, and my buddy Connor was 4 then. He's 19 now, getting ready to graduate from high school. My baby. He's my buddy. And he said, put your leg out in the yard. So he put my leg out in the yard, and he goes, have you seen her leg? Everybody that came up, have you seen her leg? She's missing her leg.
Reward for anybody that can bring me a leg.
Arr.
Do some missing posters,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter has hidden mine before when she didn't want me to go to the grocery store or leave to go somewhere. Like I couldn't find my leg, and she was just like, "I don't know, Daddy, I don't know." And it's like in the hall closet. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
my
yeah,
kids have
thanks
done
for
that.
that.
If they know they're going to be in trouble, one takes one piece, one takes the other, and I'm just like, really? You bring that back right now.
If I find a 4 millimeter, it is over for y'all.
You just wait.
Yeah. Oh, 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 it's over.
Oh, we had fun tonight. Well, I'm gonna
That
miss
is cool,
y'all,
kid.
but I'll see Kayla. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
I can't
Absolutely.
wait to come. I just hope it's not snowing.
I'm hoping that tomorrow is the last snow day. So
Yeah.
It'll still be
Yeah.
residual though,
We had a
maybe.
nice. Huh?
I said it may
Huh?
still be residual though. It's like still left over.
Wow.
So just don't go
Wow.
busting your butts. What I'm saying, because it's gonna be slick.
Oh, well, it's been fun. We'll see you next season.
All right, all right. We'll definitely have you back on. And yeah, thank you so much, Miss Kim, for coming and hanging out with us tonight. And again, just being part of the show. We really appreciate you. All right.
Thank you.
This
I'm
was a
glad I
lot
met
of fun.
Tami and Kayla.
Very nice meeting you.
All right. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon. All right, y'all. Yeah, we're getting ready to wrap it up. I got to go do some dad stuff, but man, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. I really, really appreciate it. And just, being a part. Tammy, obviously, you'll be back. I mean, so don't really sweat that. And Miss Kayla, same thing. I think everybody's camera froze. I think mine did too. So we'll give it a second. It'll catch back up.
Yep.
There we go.
I
We got everybody back now.
I think so.
think so.
All right, good deal. But like I was saying, yeah, I really do appreciate you guys just being part of the show, and just I mean, like I was saying before, I don't know what you heard, what you didn't, but Miss Tammy, you'll definitely be back on. Miss Kayla, you're always welcome to come on anytime you like, and give us an update on how you doing, how the dogs are doing, dating life, all
I
that
was
good
gonna
stuff.
say, yeah,
Whatever.
the new man.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Anything you want to come back and
tea.
talk to us about, you are always welcome to do so.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. Again, thank you for coming on, and it's been awesome meeting you, and good knowing you, and I'm glad that you and I have made friends, and that I'm always around if you need me or anything like that, and obviously if there's anything that me or my little crew here can do for you, then just reach out and we'll make it happen. So always know that.
Absolutely. Glad to call you a friend.
Absolutely. Miss Tammy, it's good seeing you as always, my friend. You know that. I talk to you all the time anyway, so.
Yeah, we talk pretty consistently. And I just want to say thank you to everybody in the chat and that watches this. You guys are so awesome, and I really can't wait to actually put faces to names eventually at some point, hopefully. And yeah, so much love to everybody, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally,
yes, thank you.
Totally. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank everybody for coming and just just being y'all's awesome self, like I always say. I know I kind of say that ad nauseum, but thank you. So but I'm gonna drop you ladies down. I greatly appreciate y'all coming, and yeah, please take care of yourselves. And Miss Tammy, get with me, because I think you said something that you wanted to talk to me about or something like that. You said, yeah, you said last time, yeah, you were just like, I need to get
It's
with
been
you.
a while,
Like,
but yes, it still stands. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So no worries. Just hit me up in a little bit, and we'll figure out whatever it is we need to talk about. So
Okay.
we're good to go. But Miss Kayla, thank you for coming. I greatly appreciate you, and we'll talk to you very soon. All right, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
All right. Bye. All right, Miss Tammy. Thank you. And yeah, I'll talk to you here in a little bit. Like, you don't have to be tonight or whatever. Just hit me up here in a little bit, and we'll
Okay.
we'll figure out whatever. So all right.
Okay.
All right,
Bye,
friend.
guys.
All right. See ya. All right, y'all. I won't take much more of your guys' time, and I just want to say thank you, more or less. Everybody that comes and takes part in these things. You guys ask questions, y'all. I mean, there's people that came to every single one of these shows, and for that, thank you so much. It truly means a lot. It lets me know that we are doing something good. We're doing the right thing. People are coming to these. They're learning stuff. They're getting information from it. Figuring out, things that they'd never even thought about before, nor did they really care about. But it's awesome to have this kind of stuff out there. Again, I've said before, maybe you'll have a relative or something like that, and it's not always affecting you personally, but it's information that can help them or anything like that, in the future if they were to face limb loss or having to use any kind of prosthetics or anything like that. So with that, I truly thank you guys. I want to go back up and say thank you to some folks here real quick. Let me see here. All right, Miss Christy Yant, thank you for coming. I see Tammy Collins in the chat. Red Dog, my brother. Jeff Bice, Backwoods 3030. I know you checked out. Thank you for coming, brother. Miss Blue Eyes, thank you for coming, my dear. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Let's see. Ford for Life, thank you for being here, my brother. I saw The Reckoning. Thank you for being here, my brother. I greatly appreciate you. Possum Smiles, always good seeing you. Yankees for Life. Terry M. Hello, my brother. Good seeing you. My local brother. He's right in Middle Tennessee with me. Let me see. Griswold, always good seeing you, my brother. Always good seeing you. Chance C. Let's see here. Tennessee Tiger King, my man. Good seeing you. All right. I believe that's everybody. Mustard Squirrel popped in. What's up, brother? All right. I missed anybody? Cowboy, aka the one. Give my love to Mr. Sherman for me. Tell him I said what's up. Deerfield, good seeing you, brother. I believe that's everybody. Half-wit. Hey, what's up, brother? All right. So again, thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, we will be back probably at the beginning of next year. Season 4 will kick off around 2026. And the only reason I'm not coming back and we're not doing it immediately is because we're trying to get acclimated with the baby and that kind of stuff, and all that good stuff. So it's going to be kind of a transitional period around the house for us, getting used to everything. See, my camera's messing up. So yeah, just bear with us. I still have a couple more episodes of my other show that I was working on, and we will you'll be guys will hear more about that soon enough. So Griswold, you were saying tomorrow night. It is Sunday night, my brother. That is 420. It is Sunday night. So mark your calendar on that one. We have, what was it? Cheech and Chong's Corsican Brothers is going to be airing at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. And we're going to have Cheech and Chong's Corsican Brothers, like I said. So there you go. But with that, everybody stay happy, safe, sane, motivated. Don't look back. Don't give a crap what anybody else says about you, because at the end of the day, it don't matter. We're going to go have ourselves a baby, y'all. Much love.